Dear viewers, welcome to yet another episode of Expert Speaks. All these days, we have spoken so much about money, so much about legal aspect, properties, taxation, investment, financial planning, and so many of these topics. Everything about money. But equally true that there is a world beyond money. There are things which money cannot do for you. There are things which are more important than money. There is a life beyond money. In today's episode, we are going to talk about something which is more than money. It's your health. How can you reach that effortless health? The expert of the week, Dr. Vipin Mishra, is going to talk to you about how you can attain effortless health. This is NRI Money Clinic for you, and I am Dr. Chandrakant, your financial guide for a happy living.
NRI Money Clinic. No hype, just the right advice.
Dear viewers, who doesn't like effortless health? Everybody aspires to lead a life full of vigor and health. How you can achieve this effortless health? I have invited to this program my eminent faculty, Professor Dr. Vipin Mishra. Professor Dr. Vipin Mishra is working as a consultant endocrinologist in Al-Zahra Hospital in Dubai. He has a very illustrious career, a highly acclaimed popular doctor, a voracious speaker. He did his MBBS from India. Before he joined his stint in Al-Zahra Hospital, he was earlier working in Fortis and Max hospitals in India. He did his MBBS from SN Medical College. He did his PhD from Agra University. He did his DM from All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi. He did his higher training in endocrinology in England as a Commonwealth Medical Fellow. Who can be better person to talk about effortless health than Dr. Vipin Mishra? Welcome to the show, Dr. Vipin Mishra.
Thank you, Dr. Bhatt, for your kind words and inviting me to your channel. Thank you.
Dear viewers, Dr. Vipin Mishra, more than being a consultant endocrinologist, has been a great friend of mine. He has been my client for many years. We have gelled very well. I have been inspired by his thinking, his thoughts, what he does in life. And I was requesting him, please come on my channel. He has been a very busy person. In spite of that, it's a great, great honor for me to interview him on the channel and his thoughts for the benefit of my viewers worldwide. Thank you so much, Doctor, for appearing on the channel.
Thank you very much. The pleasure is mine.
Doctor, I have seen you working from very close quarters. I have heard you. We have discussed this in length and detail during our interaction. I want you to help my audience take you through those inspiring thoughts. And I have framed a few questions for you. I request you to briefly answer these questions so that my audience can be enriched with this knowledge. You run a program called Effortless Health. When you talk about health, there is countless programs running. You search on YouTube, you go anywhere, there are countless programs which are running. What is this Effortless Health program? And is there really need to do one another health program amidst so many of them which are currently in practice?
Dr. Bhatt, it's very important to emphasize on health because health is the most important aspect of life. And many people do not know what is the value of health. And if you ask somebody what is the meaning of good health, he would either say that good health means absence of diseases, that if you don't have diabetes, hypertension, ischemic heart disease, arthritis, and hundreds of other things, then you are healthy. So this definition is basically wrong. You cannot define something by the absence of its polar opposite. I mean, good health should have its own positive entity. There are many people who will define good health in numerical terms. They will say that your body mass index should be 22 and your pulse rate should be 72 and your BP should be 120 by 80. And that is also not correct because these are numbers and these numbers keep on changing. For a different person, there's a different number. And for that individual also, the number keeps on changing with age and with situations. So basically, good health means that all your body organs are functioning at their highest possible efficiency. So when heart is functioning at its highest possible efficiency, then it's pumping blood every fraction of a second to reach every possible cell of the body, and is carrying with it all the oxygen and all the nutrients and all the various factors for metabolism. The lungs are keeping the body flush with oxygen. The kidneys are keeping the body clean. They are just eliminating all the waste products all 24 hours. The liver is providing nutrition to every possible cell of the body all 24 hours, even when you are sleeping, and is providing the basic substrate for hormone synthesis and various other secretions to various parts of the body. When that happens, we must understand then the brain also functions at its highest possible efficiency. And there are many functions of the brain. I will not go into the details of that. The brain is functioning all 24 hours. Even when you are sleeping, the brain is functioning. It is the highest seat of metabolic integration. But I will just talk about one function of the brain, which is important for us in our day-to-day life. Brain functions in the paradigm of observe, analyze, and conclude. So whenever you are exposed to a situation, you see something and you hear something and you feel something, and in real time, you are analyzing all that external input and you are concluding something. Your conclusions are actually your decisions, your actions which you are going to perform. So when the brain functions at its highest possible efficiency, then you make quicker decisions and more accurate decisions. And quicker decisions and more accurate decisions mean quicker progress, quicker promotions, bigger salaries, bigger houses, bigger cars, better relationships. Actually, health is everything. So when people see health in that light, only then they realize that something should be done about health, because it ensures everything. So I have heard you saying that good health is important to enjoy your wealth, but I complete the story. The other part of the story is that good health is also important to generate wealth. So how do you do that? What I am going to tell you in the next several sessions, that you have to do nothing to achieve that. Effortless means you don't have to make any effort to achieve that. It's a gift which you have to enjoy.
Dr. Mishra, you said about Effortless Health as a program. Is there something very special about it? Is it only about health? Is there anything more to it?
Dr. Bhatt, basically, this is a very unique program. This is unlike any other program. First of all, here I don't advise anybody to do anything, because I have a firm conviction that human being is the highest possible creature who doesn't need any advice from any person or any external source. So here, if my viewers are watching my program and they will like to manage their lives on the basis of my discussion with them, then they are the bosses. They have to decide whether they have to follow this or that or not. They are the creators or destroyers of their own destiny. So they have to take their own responsibility. Unlike other programs, here in this program, I'll just discuss with them how the human system functions. There are a variety of things which I will discuss, and it will be amply clear that people are creating their own diseases. And 70% of the time, they create their own diseases, and then 30% of the time, they try to solve those problems. And as the age advances, the ratio changes. And the ratio becomes like 30% of the time they are creating their diseases, and 70% of the time they're trying to solve them. So in my program, the follower is the boss. The follower decides everything. I mean, this is looking somewhat paradoxical in the beginning, but as we discuss more, it will be amply clear. The good thing about my program is that it works for everybody, whether young or old, man or woman, poor or rich, educated or uneducated, whether a Hindu or a Muslim or a Christian or a Sikh or a Parsi or a Jain or a Buddhist, whether Indian or American or British or European or Pakistani or Chinese, it works on everybody, because there is some human trait which is common, and the human system works in a very predictable way. Now, when I say predictable way, then I also take into ambit of predictability a little bit of unpredictability, because if you expose 10 people in the same situation, then all 10 of them will behave differently. They will respond differently. So when you go very deep into how the human system works, and you also take this unpredictability into account, then the program can be individualized. So my program is one which can be individualized and customized. I'll be talking about 15 points which I expect from my viewers to follow. But if they decide they will follow only 10 points, it's very good. Even then it works. If they decide that they will follow only 1 point, still it would work. And if they decide that they will follow all the 15 points, but only 20%, still it works. You see, what is important to understand about the human entity is that every human being wants to improve. So even if there is a thief, he wants to become a better thief. A doctor wants to become a better doctor. Somebody who is earning money wants to earn more money. Somebody who is a politician wants to become a minister. So everybody wants to improve and evolve and go to higher levels. So what is your requirement is a different question. Somebody wants to have more money. Somebody wants to have more power. But yes, there is a common human trait that everybody wants to improve. And here I'm talking about enhancement of the human system. So if I talk about enhancement of the human system, it not only gives you a better health because you evolve as a human being, but also you will do better in whichever field you are working. So that's the promise of this program.
Dr. Mishra, I heard you. But we are in an era where people say get tonics, take the nutritional supplements, and do different therapies, visit the doctor at periodical intervals. These are the things which we hear about. But what you talk here, it appears that it is against the conventional wisdom or conventional knowledge or the conventional practice, what people are saying about it. What do you have to say about it?
Yes, you're right. In the beginning, on the surface, it will appear to be in total contradiction to the conventional wisdom. But we must understand that healthcare industry is a very, very large industry. It's a $15 trillion industry, the global industry size. And lots of things are industry driven. And so basically, what is conventional wisdom? Conventional wisdom is based on an assumption that the crowd is always right. So if there are 10 million people or 100 million people saying something, then that has to be correct. And the person who is speaking against that has to be wrong. And this assumption is not naturally correct. I mean, this very basic assumption is wrong. It's fraught with problems. And that is why most people fall sick. I mean, sickness should not be the norm. It should be something like a great variation from the norm. But here we see that most people are falling sick, and healthcare industry is becoming bigger and bigger industry with the passage of time. Now, let us talk about conventional wisdom. If you see around you, then you will find that there is no creature on this planet except human being who falls sick. And I'm talking about the chronic diseases, the so-called lifestyle diseases like diabetes and hypertension and ischemic heart disease and arthritis and the stuff. I mean, the list is long. But if you make a Google search about the natural occurrence of diabetes and hypertension in animals and birds, then the result is zero. No animal or bird gets these lifestyle diseases. And what they do for that? Nothing. If you talk to a tortoise and ask him, how do you manage to get 350 years of life? The tortoise would say, I simply enjoy my life. That's all. I don't do anything. So, I mean, you can't say that the nature has cursed the humanity, that while all other creatures would get a full lifespan without any effort, but human beings will have to make a lot of effort to get that lifespan. So this is conventional wisdom to accept this. So I don't accept that. I mean, I don't accept that the nature has conspired against human beings and cursed us to have bad health. And secondly, if we see our own lives, like I was born on some day without any effort on my own, then it started growing. I started becoming bigger effortlessly. Then I developed a certain height and a certain intellect. Whatever was programmed, I got it. I mean, I did not do any effort on that. So when I went to school, I was strong in certain subjects and I was weak in certain subjects. All that was programmed. I didn't do anything special about that. Then at some time, the diseases start developing effortlessly and the death comes effortlessly. While we are seeing in our own lives that everything is happening effortlessly, but then we say that no, good health can come only with great effort. I mean, it's basically a very strong prejudice. It is a prejudice because the society has taught us that everything will happen effortlessly. But if you want good health, then you have to put in a lot of effort. So basically, this is conventional wisdom to accept that. And I mean, you have talked about the conventional wisdom. I think the conventional wisdom is the cause of the problem. It is cause of the diseases. And that's why I have come with this program, which appears on the surface to be in contradiction with that. But when we go deeper, then you will see the hidden wisdom of this program.
You are making me think, Dr. Mishra. You're absolutely right. I am on your side. I agree with you. For a great part of human history, the conventional wisdom said that the earth was flat, but that never made earth flat till one person took courage to say it's round, and probably he gave up his life. For a great part of human existence, we thought the smallpox was a result of curse of gods, but it wasn't. Till somebody took courage to say it's because of a virus. Probably it is that one thinker, one voice which challenges the status quo, probably brings out the truth. Yes, you have merit in whatever you said, and I really appreciate these thoughts. While explaining about your health program, you made one interesting topic which made me think. You said animals and birds and other creatures do not develop chronic disease. Chronic disease has become only for the human being. Why is it? What do you think about it? Why it's happening? Is there something which is making the human beings susceptible to these chronic diseases? What has changed? We are also part of the animal kingdom. Why we are different?
Dr. Bhatt, it's very interesting that it is described that disease is a acquired human skill. Only human beings develop diseases and suffer from problems. Death is a certainty for every creature. I mean, that is not a problem. Everybody who comes on this planet ultimately leaves this planet on some day. But suffering before departure is a human acquisition. I mean, humans have acquired that ability to develop diseases and suffer in the terminal parts of life. You see, what is the difference? The difference between all of the creatures and humans is that all of the creatures, they live life on their intuition. And human beings, they decided very early on that I will live my life by knowledge. So first they will decide what is right and what is wrong. And then they will struggle to get the right, and they will struggle to keep the wrong away from them. I mean, animals and birds are never in a conflict. So if you feed the cow some non-vegetarian preparation, some meat, the cow will not even go closer to that. From 5 or 6 feet away, the cow would turn its head in a different direction. It is all intuitive. It's all programmed. It's all built in. But humans decided. And that's the way we are raising our children. That's the way the society is teaching us that, first of all, divide the existence into two parts. One part is the good part, the other part is the bad part. Then create life into a struggle to get the good part and struggle to keep the bad part away. And let me tell you that knowledge as a rule is always incomplete and misleading. I mean, this is the defining character of knowledge, that knowledge can never be complete. I mean, we are acquiring knowledge for the last 2000 years from the time of Aristotle. Proper segmented knowledge creation is going on in different fields. And after 2000 years, we are not in a situation to say that now the knowledge creation has been completed and now we know everything. And I'm sure in the next 10,000 years also, knowledge will always remain incomplete. So that's the reason. That's the reason why human beings are always in a conflict. They are fighting. For them, life is not a music. Life is a struggle. We have to get the right thing and we have to keep away the wrong thing. I'm reminded of a story of a saint. The saint was very famous and they lived on the banks of the river Ganga. And he was very old and he had lots of disciples. So when he was post 90 years of age and it was appearing that his days are numbered, so his disciples asked him, can you give us the summary of your teachings? So the saint said that the summary of my teaching is that whenever I am hungry, I eat. When I am thirsty, I drink water. When I feel like talking, I talk. When I feel like walking, I walk. When I feel like resting, I rest. and when I feel like sleeping, I sleep. He said life is so simple that knowledge is not needed to live it. But yes, knowledge is definitely needed to sabotage everything. I'm not talking about specialized knowledge. So for example, I'm a doctor. I'm a doctor, and patients come to me for a certain opinion. They come to consult me, and they want that I should write them medicines which will cure or control their diseases. So for me, that knowledge is important. Knowledge is utilitarian, but knowledge cannot dominate my entire life. What I should eat and how I should live. So that particular knowledge-driven approach towards everything in life is the disease-causing mechanism, and that is missing in the animal and birds kingdom.
Dr. Mishra, you made me really think. You said intuitiveness is something which is naturally programmed genetically, and knowledge is disruptive. Knowledge, instead of enriching at points of time, may put us on crossroads, and that could be the problem area. These are really thought-provoking points that you have made. How does your program work? How is that you conduct this program? What is that our viewers need to understand from your program?
Okay, so basically the purpose of doing this program is not to give you some do's and don'ts which you start applying to your life from today onwards and everything will change. No, basically the program is meant to alter your consciousness, to a higher level where you will see yourself what is good for you and what is bad for you, and you will be able to take your own decisions. So it's like empowering the viewers. I don't want anybody to become my follower, that whatever I'm doing, you should also do. No, that's not the point. So this program works in two ways. There are two parts of the program. One is the 15-point actionable part. So I will discuss all those points with my viewers, that you have to focus on these 15 points, and all these 15 points are extremely important. If you follow just one of them, still your life will change enormously. So you have to follow them. You have to follow them as much as you can. So in the beginning, I said the program is customizable. If somebody says that I cannot follow all 15, I will follow the 10. So start with 10. So when you follow those points, then your blood chemistry changes. When your blood chemistry starts changing, that your perception changes. When your perception changes, then your response, your behavior changes. In due course of time, you will be a different person. Basically, we must understand that human entity is a very dynamic entity, and it is constantly changing. And there's nothing easier than changing an entity which is spontaneously changing itself continuously at every point of time. The second part of my program is called thought therapy. And so that is what I want to achieve through these videos. Human beings are the only creatures who are affected by thoughts. And so we'll explain in due course of time that thoughts are the basic seeds of diseases. So when thoughts can work as seeds of diseases, thoughts can also work like medicines. So these are two parts: the actionable 15-point program, which viewers have to follow to whatever extent they feel comfortable. And the second part is thought therapy, that I will be talking to them. In the beginning, I'll talk what I have to talk. And at some point of time, it will become like a question answer session, whatever they will ask or whatever you will ask, because what I'm talking is totally paradoxical to what others are talking. So then it will be a question answer session at the end, at some point of time.
Dr. Mishra, you said that thoughts will dictate whether we live with sickness or we live with health. Wonderful thought indeed. You said you have designed 15 points program for the effortless health, which anybody and everyone can follow. For the benefit of my audience, can you please briefly tell what are these 15 points? Is it easy to follow? Is it difficult? How many of them can follow? Who can follow? Let's look at those 15 points, what people have to follow.
Yeah, you are right. The points are important, and I will enumerate them here. But just enumeration will not help, because every point is a very, very strong point. It's a very important requirement of the system. So you have to fulfill all the requirements of the system optimally. And there is this factor of effortlessness, which will be applied to all of these points. So when I talk about healthy food, I don't have the same meaning which others have. So I will enumerate the points here, but then we will discuss these points one by one in different sessions. So the point number one is manage your diet. Point number two is regular exercise. Point number three is follow yoga. Point number four is follow a discipline in life. Fix the routine. Sleep at the same time, get up at the same time, everything at the same time. Point number five is maintain good sleep. Start with 8 hours. As your health will improve, the quantity will come down and the quality will improve. Point number six is have a strong sex life. Point number seven is do what you love doing. Point number eight is have a friend. Discuss your inner feelings with a friend. Sharing something is a healing process. Point number nine is most important. It is manage the mind, because mind is the reality. Mind is the seat of all problems. Physical body is just a shadow of the mind. Point number 10 is have breaks, have vacations. Point number 7 is have a strong sense of humor. Don't take life so seriously. Seriousness is a disease. Point number 12 is perform your duties well. This is a very, very important point. Point number 13 is always be self-centered. So this is very controversial. Many people will not understand unless until I elaborate. Number 14 is have a guru. So again, this point is very, very important. And if you don't have a guru, then you cannot go to your highest possible potential. And point number 15 is that know what you are. You are not just ever-changing mind-body phenomena. You are much more than that. And if you follow all the points, then one day you will know it by experience who you are.
I thought 15 points are very difficult to follow, but this can be done with quite consciously. One can do it. Can be done everyone, wherever they are, whichever the economic strata they belong to, whichever the geographies they live in. For me, it appears that all these 15 points are something which is doable. Dr. Mishra, I have got one doubt in my mind. You said follow your intuition. At some point of time, can it not be harmful? I'll tell you what's the doubt I'm getting in my mind. I'll elaborate. If a person is diabetic and he feels that I should eat sugar, it's his intuition. Following the intuition, will it not result in harmful? There can be more situations like that in life, but this is one example I'm giving you. How would you like to answer this dilemma that exists?
You are right. You are 100% right. Because if you follow your intuition right in the beginning, then it will be definitely harmful. So if I tell my diabetic patient, and I'm seeing lots of them every day, to follow your intuition, then they will go immediately and start eating ice cream and cakes and pastries, which was denied to them for several years. Basically, our intuition is essentially corrupted. And what has corrupted our intuition is the overemphasis on knowledge. So we have been taught by very important people in our lives, like our parents and our relatives and our teachers and the national and international icons, that you have to go by knowledge. So suppress your intuition and live by knowledge. That has been the teaching by the most important people in our lives. Now, those very important people cannot be wrong. They were our best well-wishers who have taught these things. So because of an overemphasis on knowledge, the intuition has been corrupted. The intuition has been corrupted by the viruses of knowledge. And then there are suppressed desires. If you don't allow anybody to eat what is his favorite food, and then somebody gives him freedom, then he will go and eat the same thing, which he was denied for the last several years. So that is why those 15 points. So those 15 points are like a detox program. They are like purifying your intuition. So you should have one leg on your intuition and one leg on following those 15 points. So I will say that you should follow those 15 points as strongly as possible. If you follow it 100%, it is best. But if sometimes you feel that it is too much on you and you feel like freaking out and then eating something which you love eating and which is denied according to my program, then you can just go and have it. So don't put a burden on yourself. Somebody will then ultimately end up following it 90%, somebody 80%, somebody 60%. That is individual variation. But yes, a point will come, and that point should come in 1 year to 5 years of following my program. If after 5 years also somebody is following my program, that means he has not understood me. So some people who will be very quick to understand everything, they will get rid of my program in 1 year. Then you see, who am I? I am not just Vipin Mishra. I'm a representative of this humanity. So if somebody else is telling you that do this and don't do that, so this is me again in a different form telling you something. So somebody will say this is the scientific community telling you something. So ultimately what I am intending to is to make you your own master. So after 1 year or to maximum 5 years, when I become redundant and unimportant, then all the preachers will become unimportant. Then you will be your own boss. Then you will decide everything at your own level. But yes, right in the beginning, following intuition may be harmful, and you have to follow your doctor. You have to follow those 15 points. But in a limited span of time of 1 to 5 years, you will become a new human being who would not need anybody's advice.
Dr. Mishra, you spoke in length. There's so much to take home, so much to think about, so much to follow. If I ask you to give 1 or 2 sentences which describes your program, what is that?
I will describe the summary of my program in 2 sentences. One is that enjoy every moment of your life to the maximum unconditionally. And the second sentence is do what you feel like doing. And these are loaded sentences. I mean, each word of that has to be explained, and they are interrelated. So that is the summary of my program.
Dr. Mishra, thank you very much for your time. And it is definitely in the interest of every individual, just not invest money, but invest in your health. Investing in health gives rich dividends. And what's the point in having lots of money, not in health, to enjoy that money? And you have filled that gap that was there in our program. We were talking only about money. Soon we'll start one another session on our channel. We have 2 sessions right now, Expert Speaks and Your Life, Your Money. I'll add 1 more session and we'll announce it very soon. It's called Beyond Money, More Than Money. And subject matter specialist will appear on the channels at regular intervals of time. Likewise, I request Dr. Vipin Mishra to spare time to come on my channel at regular intervals of time. I have an intention to carry on our channel with the live program where audience can directly interact with you, ask you the question, because most of the things you spoke, people have doubts. Maybe they would like to ask you the question directly and you would answer. Kindly accept my invitation. Give us your time, and NRI Money Clinic, with your vast knowledge, with your vast experience, let's try to do and create a very healthy society. Thank you very much for your kindness, and we remain in gratitude to you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Dear viewers, hope the video that I have done today helped you to understand why there is a life beyond money and why it is very important. Health is something which everyone aspires to follow. We should make it happen. And it's unfortunate that the evolution of mankind resulted in health being something that we have to aspire for, where the nature had given us naturally to us. Nevertheless, let's get back to the normal and create that one thing for you. If it did help you to understand the meanings of the effortless health, the reasons for it, please do like this video. If you are a person who is watching my channel for the first time, or if you are yet to subscribe for the channel, please hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon. Don't forget to share this video with your near and dear ones. Thank you very much for watching this episode on NRI Money Clinic. I shall be back with you next Tuesday with yet another expert in yet another topic. Till then, stay safe.
Press the bell icon for more details and subscribe our channel.